I woke up dreaming Donald Trump was president. So at first I wasn't going to put this on the internet, and then I decided to go ahead and put it on the internet because I'm thinking that it might be able to help in some way. So I just decided, well, let me go ahead and put it on the internet. It's not a nice dream, to be honest with you. So um, um, just to let you know in advance. And also, I wanted to make certain that when white people hear this, they understand that I am not the type of person that would try to cause any problems for any other people. I am not anti white people. When I tell you this dream, I am telling it to you because this is what I actually dreamed. And also because I think it might be something that white people might need to learn from it, or for one thing, I don't really understand what it means myself. So for white people to hear it and then tell me what you think about it. Dreaming is a natural part of everyone's sleep process. um, it's not always easy to interpret what you dream. So a lot of times when you wake up from a dream, it's either going to be a premonition or it's going to be a symbolic dream, meaning that there are images in the dream that appear one way and they have a different meaning to them. So over the years, I've learned to get dream dictionaries to try to interpret what I um, dream. But this particular dream is heavily on my mind. So I'm going to tell you the dream and then try to interpret what I believe I dreamt. Okay? All right. So I dreamt that I was standing in the middle of a group of people and they were clawing at me and trying to bite me. And I believed that they had this illness that you see on The Walking Dead. I believe that they were, The Walking Dead or the movie I Am Legend or World War Z, that illness that people call zombies. So I believe, so let me just use the word zombie, okay? So I believe that I was standing in a group of people who were zombies and they were clawing at me and trying to bite me. So here comes Donald Trump. Now, keep in mind, I dreamt in my dream he was the president. And he walks through this crowd of people, crowd of zombies, and he walks through very nonchalant. He wasn't scared, and they were not trying to attack him. So it was almost as if he was invisible to them. So he walks through this crowd, very nonchalant, and he hands somebody a bottle of spray. Okay, now he gives this bottle of spray to one person who is not a zombie yet because they have not been attacked. So he is trying to save that one person. He gives the spray to that one person. The spray is actually either the cure or a remedy for this illness that everybody else has. So that person can be protected like he is. So it's just a spray, and you spray the person sprayed the spray on themselves, and it worked like a repellent, like a bug repellent. All the person had to do is spray the spray on themselves, and then the people who had this illness that I'm calling the zombie illness would not attack them. So again, Donald Trump has the remedy to this illness in his hand. He gives it to one person. That one person sprays it on themselves. It works like a bug repellent. So then nobody attacks that one person. So then Donald Trump takes the spray back. He goes and sits down. And it's like he's sitting behind this glass enclosement. Like it's like a glass, it's just like a room made of glass where he can see out. But people, nobody's attacking him or or anything. He's just sitting there looking out at all these people who have this illness. Keep in mind, he only gave the spray to one person. Okay. Now, the part of the dream that was kind of confusing to me is that everybody in the dream was white. It was everybody in the dream was a white person, meaning everybody who was sick with this zombie illness, the person that Donald Trump saved, everybody was white. Of course, when you're listening to my voice, you can tell that I'm African American. So in most cases, the majority of the dreams that I dream, I could dream about anything that's going to affect me directly or indirectly. And of course, Donald Trump being the president would affect me indirectly. So I'm going to dream about something like this. But in most cases, if I'm dreaming about something, most of the time I'm dreaming about something that's going to affect me directly in my life. So most of the time I'm dreaming about African American people on my job, things like that. So it's difficult for me to understand why everybody in the dream was white. This is the reason why, I really wanted to share this dream, because that part of it was really confusing. I don't believe in any way, shape, or form that if there's any type of zombie outbreak, I really don't want to believe that there would even be any type of zombie outbreak. But if there were, I don't believe that the only people who are going to get that would be white. I don't believe that even for a second. So that's the reason why I'm confused why, I didn't see people of color in the dream, only white people. So that was the end of the dream. So now I'm going to see if I can try to interpret what the dream means. So again, I said at the beginning of this that sometimes I have premonitions and sometimes I have symbolic dreams. Now, this is the same for everyone. I'm no different from anybody else. The only reason why, I said I have dreams since I was 12 years old is because when I was 12, I had some very vivid dreams that came true. And so ever since then, I've learned to pay attention to what I dream about. So a lot of people, don't just pay attention. A lot of times people have dreams and they just ignore it. But it is difficult sometimes to remember what it is that you're dreaming about. So if this dream was actually a premonition, it means that I dreamt that after Donald Trump becomes president, there will be a zombie outbreak, and Donald Trump will have the remedy, and he's not going to save everybody. That's what I would interpret it to mean if it was a premonition. Now, if it was a symbolic dream, that means that there are images in the dream that means something other than what it appears to be. Okay, so I went and looked in my dream dictionaries, because I have about 3 different dream dictionaries that I refer to when I'm dreaming and I'm trying to interpret what it is I'm dreaming. So unfortunately, all of the dream dictionaries concur that when you dream about an illness, that means that an impending illness will follow. So it means that even if there's not a zombie outbreak, that there will be some type of illness that goes around the United States after Donald Trump becomes president. Okay, so I can't tell you what type of illness it would be, only that the dream dictionaries are telling me the same thing. There will be some type of illness. Now, one of the dream dictionaries did say that sometimes if you dream about a sickness or illness, that it means that there will be a difficulty in relationships or some type of disappointment. So now, with that being said, if I was dreaming about a difficulty in relationships, everybody in the dream was white. So to me, I would think that it would mean that after Donald Trump becomes president, the relationship with white people would be strained in some type of way. And if I were going to try to interpret what that means, I would think that what Donald Trump is proposing is not going to make things better for white people in the United States. is going to make it worse amongst people of color. That's what I think. So that's something that I think that white people should take to heart. And a difficulty or some type of disappointment. I would think that, to me, what I saw in a dream would at the least, what it would mean to me is that Donald Trump would then betray the very persons who helped him become elected. Again, because the majority of the people that are voting for him are white. And in this dream, everybody was white, but he only saved one person in a crowd of people who were sick, and he had the remedy or the cure in his hand. He could have saved more people. Then he just sat there and looked out at all these people ill and did nothing about it. So to me, it showed at least a betrayal of the very, very persons who have been voting for him and trying to get him in office. So, like I said, these type of dreams, they have meanings to them. Okay, you can't say, oh, it's just a dream. No, it ain't just a dream. When you have a very vivid dream, this dream was so vivid, I actually felt like somebody scratched me. Like I was standing in the middle of this group of people and somebody scratched me. So, and I felt, the person's hand, even though they didn't bite me, they scratched me. When you hear them say that there's some type of conspiracy to keep Donald Trump from being the president, that's bullshit. Let me tell you how you know there ain't no conspiracy to prevent Donald Trump from being the president. When you watch the evening news every night, what do you see? You see news about Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, right? Exactly. Anybody who works in marketing knows all publicity is good publicity. So that means that Donald Trump is being promoted to be the next president. And he has been all along. Probably even before he even started to run for president. Because if he was not being promoted to be the next president, you would not see him on television during the election. Think about it. Think about when Ron Paul ran for president. Did you see him on the election news, on the evening news? Nope. Think about all the other presidential candidates during this whole presidential election. How many of them were on the evening news every night? The one that they are promoting to be the president is the one that's going to get the most television time. Okay, so Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton were the two candidates or the only two candidates that we were supposed to vote for from day one, because those are the two that you've heard on the evening news every night since this election started. That's how you know. Okay, so please, by all means, if you have another interpretation of what I dreamt, please share it with me.